Welcome, homies, pirates, to 4.3. We're solving two-step equations with rational numbers. First, we're going to review our integer rules, just adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, just to kind of keep it fresh in our brain. So go ahead and pause the video. Make sure you have a calculator. I want you to solve these 8 questions here, and then I'll come back here in a second. All right, here's your answers for the first 8. Hopefully you remember when you multiply or divide two positives, you get a positive answer, or same signs positive, different signs negative. And then you can always, I want you to start checking your answers with a calculator if you need to. Okay, you're going to be using a calculator to check all of your work today. Okay, so here we go. First step to solving two-step with rational numbers is we need to, 1, use inverse operations to get rid of addition and subtraction. Same rules as yesterday in 4.2. We have to get rid of addition and subtraction before multiplication and division. Then step 2, get rid of multiplication and division using inverse operations. Step 3, then we can solve, make sure we keep our ship balanced, or our equation balanced. We don't want to sink our ship, homies. And then number 4, check your solution. So let's do it. Number 1, we have to get rid of addition and subtraction first. So we have to get rid of this minus 9. To get rid of a minus 9, we do the opposite by adding 9 to both sides. We're left with negative 1.5x equals 24. Now, we can use a calculator for this. How do we get rid of multiplication? We divide. So I'm going to divide by negative 1.5 on both sides. So I do 24 divided by negative 1.5. Remember, the negative button is not the subtraction button. Negative is down here by the equal sign. Press enter. We get x equals negative 16. Okay? Pause the video. Try number 2. All right, I wanted to work through the last part of this problem. So first, we get rid of subtraction by adding 2/5 to both sides. Now, I did 7 ABC 8 plus 2 ABC 5 in your calculator, and you get 1 and 11/40ths. Now, I'm going to change this to improper by pressing second PRB. And then press second ABC. Sorry. So once we're here, 1 and 11 for second ABC, and we get 51/40ths. There we go. So I'm going to write this as 51/40. Now, to get rid of multiplication, we divide. But dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 3/1 on both sides, or otherwise known as just 3. So in my calculator, 51/40ths is still in there. So I'm just going to multiply by 3. So x equals 153/40. And you can keep your answer as improper. I'm okay with that for this. Keep this as improper. Pause the video, do number 3. All right, here's your work for number 3. So we had a negative 0.5, which is minusing. So to cancel that, we have to add 0.5 to both sides. Then we divide both sides by 3.9 to get c by itself. And our treasure chest is c equals 3.3. Make sure you can do that on your own. Don't just copy down my work. Try it with your calculator. Make sure you're getting the right answers. All right, number 4. Our g is on the right side. So we're going to add 1.4 to both sides. Okay, and you get negative 11 plus 1.4. Type in your calculator if you need to. Negative 11 plus 1.4, negative 9.6. So you get negative 9.6 equals negative 3.2g. This is multiplication. To cancel multiplication, we divide by negative 3.2 on both sides. And you get a positive 3 equals g. All right. Pause the video and you try number 5 and 6. All right, here's the answer number 5. So we had to subtract 1/4 on both sides. And you get negative 2/3 x equals 15/4. I turned 3 3/4 into an improper fraction, so it's easier to multiply. Then we have to get rid of the multiplication. To get rid of negative 2/3 times x, we have to divide by negative 2/3 x, which is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I multiplied by negative 3/2 on both sides. And when you put that in your calculator, you get x equals negative 5 5/8, which we know we could turn into improper, so either one of these answers is correct. Negative 45/8 or negative 5 5/8. Okay, make sure you can do this in your calculator. Do not just write it down, people. Check it with your calculator. All right, number 6. I'm going to pause the video. You should do number 6 as well. All right, here's our work for number 6. We have to get rid of addition first. So we minus 8 from both sides, 18, excuse me, minus 18 from both sides. You get negative 6/11 y equals 30. To get rid of multiplication, we divide. Dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I multiply by a negative 11 over 6 on both sides, and you get y equals negative 55. All right? Last 3 problems. Number 7. We have number 2.5p minus 10.5 equals 14.5. We're going to add 10.5 to both sides. Make sure you draw your ocean. You get 2.5p equals 25. How do we get rid of multiplication? You should know it by now. Divide. Divide both sides by 2.5. And you get p equals 10. Not too bad. All right, pause the video and try number 8. All right, here's your work for number 8. This is a positive 3 on the right side. We have to get rid of this. Even though there's not a plus sign in front of it, we know that's a positive 3. To get rid of a positive 3, we subtract 3 on both sides. So you get 2 equals negative 1 over 10b. To get rid of the multiplication, we have to divide by a fraction, which means multiplying by the reciprocal. I multiplied by negative 10 over 1 on both sides. That'll cancel out my negative 1 over 10. Negative 10 over 1 times 2 is just negative 20. Use your calculator if you need to. And you get negative 20 equals b. Alrighty, last problem, Pirates. Try number 9. All right, guys, number 9. So we have to get rid of a plus 8.5 by subtracting 8.5 from both sides. And you get x equals 5. And then to get rid of the dividing by negative 3.2, we have to multiply by a negative 3.2 on both sides. And you get x equals negative 16. All right, great job, Pirates. So you guys should now be pretty familiar with how to get rid of, how to do a two-step equation. So we have to get rid of course, addition or subtraction first. Then we get rid of multiplication and division. Then we solve by keeping our ship balanced, and then we check our solution. Remember, you can check your solution by substituting in your value for your variable back into the equation. Okay? Alrighty, guys, go do your must-do and then master that mastery check, people. You got this, Pirates. Arrgh, mateys.